This is a very important decision indeed. It's totally unprecedented as far as the OPCW mandate and activities so far are concerned. As you know, there has been a fact-finding mission, which the Director General Uzumcu initiated in 2014, but the findings of this fact-finding mission would be transmitted to the United Nations to a mechanism called the Joint Investigative Mechanism that reports to the Security Council. And after 2 years of operation, their mandate was curtailed due to a Russian veto in the Security Council, and that happened last December.
And what do you make of Russia, Iran and Syria voting against this motion?
This is not unexpected, simply because now the new mechanism, the mechanism in the OPCW, can assign the responsibility, meaning that it's an accountability mechanism, just like the Joint Investigative Mission was. And Russia had proposed in the Security Council that the Joint Investigation Mission could go ahead, but that the findings of culpability or accountability would be made by the 15 Security Council members. And that's why the motion failed. Now this has been superseded because now the OPCW can find accountability, can point the finger at those who were responsible, but still it transmits the results of these investigations and their findings to the Security Council of the UN.
And does it make the work of the OPCW investigators even more dangerous, as they were not granted permission by Syria, for example, to enter the area?
Well, I don't think that that is quite correct, because the fact-finding mission's reports have so far always been based on investigations that were carried out outside the country. They did try to get, the first investigation, they did try to get into Syria, but the vehicles were shot at, and they decided for security reasons it was too dangerous to go in. They were recently admitted to Duma, an attack that occurred earlier this year, but they were only in Duma about 2 weeks after the attack occurred, so therefore it was already under the authority of the Syrian government. The site could have been denigrated, it could have been cleared, so it was not quite clear what exactly they could find. But on the other hand, the investigations so far were carried out outside the country, which has always been difficult for the Russians to accept, because they said, if you're not on the site, there's no chain of custody, so how can we trust actually the results that you have found? That's been a very easy way to attack the investigation. But when you read the reports, they seem to be very well done, they seem to be very thorough, and the investigation mechanism, which now no longer exists, basically is now moved to the OPCW, which makes it also a very political and not only a technical body.
And international bodies have so far set on the fence. Are we seeing a big change for once?
I think that still the jury is still out on that. What you have seen is that 24 member states of the OPCW voted against this measure. So that is still a very sizable number of states. It's not only Russia, Syria, and Iran, but also other member states that voted against it. Clearly, there was a very strong effort, a very strong push led by the United Kingdom to make this measure stick, to get it through the OPCW. But that's just the beginning, because what happens with the outcome, what happens with the accountability, who actually will prosecute these cases, that is very much a question that needs to be determined. And it also means that the OPCW, which always considers itself a technical secretariat, now is moving, yes, technical, but it is moving into a very political sphere, which beforehand was more fought out, if you so want, in the Security Council and the United Nations.